It's time for AggroChat, the official podcast of the Tales of the Aggronaut blog and stalwart gaming community, where we talk about stuff and things, and the stuff about the things, and sometimes gaming. I'm Belghast, and let's start the show. Hey folks, it's that time again. Time for another episode of AggroChat. This is episode 541. Tonight I'm joined by Ammo.
Hello.
Ashgar.
Hello.
Grace.
Hello.
Tam.
Hello.
And Thalen.
Hi there.
So Grace and I have been playing an excessive amount of Destiny Rising. And the deeper you get into that rabbit hole, there are these weird little quests that various characters want you to do dumb things so that you can get leaves, so that you can bank up more pulls. Because there's another banner coming, so we need to do everything we can to get more pulls for new banners, right?
But also, you get little snippets of story from these things.
And there's a bunch of activities that you kind of want to do on the regular, and as a result, like I've been knocking out, this character wants me to do 20 rounds of, dailies on this planetary area, or this one wants me to do public events, and then one of them wants me to do this game's version of Gambit. And that person is Ikora. And Ikora is quite possibly the worst character in the game.
Oh no.
Which is kind of sad because I've always liked Ikora.
Yeah, it makes me frustrated that she's not the greatest. But she doesn't have the best toolkit.
Right. Ikora's problem is she has a perfectly cromulent skill set of magic. She chose the wrong weapons on weapon day.
Oh no.
Because Ikora has a single shot grenade launcher as her primary weapon, aka those things that you fire a shot and it's super slow to reload, and has a rocket launcher as her secondary weapon.
Well.
So,
let's be clear. This sounds like a weapon loadout I would pick if I were allowed.
Oh, it's awful. It's so bad. Just because, you're going to be waiting for everything to reload. And Grace and I have taken it upon ourselves to share the suffering of doing not Gambit on Ikora by making other people in the game suffer as we both play our Ikora during this mode.
And it's ridiculously silly fun because once you've fully committed to playing this frustratingly not remotely optimal character, then you don't really care that much what's happening and just enjoy yourself. And surprisingly, once we came in second place out of six teams?
Yeah. Basically, any modicum of proficiency that you can eke out with this character combination is just worth cheering for. Every time we kill another player, it just feels like the greatest achievement ever.
Yeah, it's a minor miracle every time you succeed at anything.
And it's so sad that the game won't give us another Ikora. We were in a match with 6 other or 4 other Ikoras, not counting us, 6 in total, but they wouldn't give us another Ikora because we wanted the all Ikora match.
They just don't want us to achieve full greatness.
There were enough Ikoras and enough Kabirs to make all Ikora and all Kabir teams. But we didn't get that. We could have had so much greatness. Maybe they fear what we could have done with 3 Ikoras.
I think so.
Maybe we become more potent when you group multiple Ikoras together.
You become the Trikora.
The Trikora.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, it's been fun. And the thing is we can only deal with a couple rounds at a time. Because it's just too obnoxious to play many in a row. But about once a week, we'll have a grouping where we Ikora it out for a little bit.
Yeah, I think we need to do it 10 times or something.
Yeah.
So we have to do, a few more rounds of it to finish it out. But it's good because I don't love playing that game mode, and doing it this way is so silly and ridiculous that it ends up just being a good time because I can't possibly take it seriously even a little.
Yeah. And the thing that kind of sucks about that game mode is it's like one of the free game modes where you can like do it as many times as you want. And also it is a game mode that like rewards a lot of things, or through the currency conversion shop will allow you to buy a lot of needed resources. So like I feel like I need to go there on purpose, fairly often. And this at least gets us some guaranteed amount of those materials.
Yeah. Yeah, the game, I mean, like any gotcha game has so many currencies.
Mhm.
And yeah, there's just some things that it's easiest to get from that game mode, but it's not my favorite game mode. But I do appreciate that there's decent rewards to be had without spending the daily currency.
Yeah, and the thing that I appreciate, especially from that game mode, is like there's a set amount of guaranteed things that you get no matter how well you do. And the things that you get for doing well are largely just fluff. It's like some more glimmer and glimmer. Like every game, glimmer, aka gold, becomes useless after a point.
Hmm. But it just, I don't know, it's shocking to me how extremely fun the game continues to be overall. Just, having been playing it for a little bit, haven't hit any of the, pay to win sort of barriers of a gotcha game. Like, things are gated, time gated because of the time daily currency, but still feel like I'm able to progress every day, and there's enough different kinds of activities that I can do without using the daily currency that I don't I I have yet to feel like I hit that point where, oh, I better just log off because there's nothing else useful I can do today. Like, there's
Mhm.
just always still things that I can explore, and there's still quests that I haven't done for some of the characters because the more you use them, the more their quests open up, and like there's so much to do, and it's all pretty fun.
Yeah, the only thing that concerns me a little bit is that there has been some preliminary reports that maybe it's not making as much money as other gotcha games are. But also, like, I would expect that given how generally open it is on the like the types of mechanics. Like, I have every character in the game. I have given them a little bit of money for the how all gotcha games have like a subscription thing where it's a really good deal if you're going to spend any amount of money, and over the course of a month you get like a lot of resources from it. So I've spent that, but like I have every character.
Yeah, it's pretty generous. I mean, I came in a little bit later, so I did dish out a small amount of cash so that I could pick up the character whose banner was ending just a few days after I started playing. But other than that, yeah, I just did the same subscription thing. And I feel good about that because it's decently rewarding and the game has been so fun. I'm happy to toss them some support.
And like I don't know, I don't know, like it. I'm not sure I had this much fun playing actual Destiny.
I'm pretty sure I didn't. I I know for a fact playing actual Destiny that there are just game modes that I pretty much wholly ignored because I just didn't enjoy. And this one, I feel compelled to do a little bit of everything. I don't always feel in the mood for each specific thing every day, but there's enough different stuff that I'm constantly rotating through and finding something different to do.
Even hopeless Ikora mode.
It's so funny.
So Slime Rancher 2 is actually out for proper release.
Yeah, it had its 1.0 release. And I've just been ducking back into it. I played a little bit while it was in early access, but I tried not to dig in too far, just so that I could see all the stuff once it was fully released. And it is just incredibly charming and fun. If you played the first one, there's nothing shocking here, but it's a really satisfying little combination of sort of creature collecting and farming and really, really fun exploration. So just like the first one, you find different little secrets in different parts of the map, and you find the big, I think they're called Gordo versions of the slimes that you feed them a bunch of their favorite food and they explode and usually reveal some kind of secret or new entrance to a new area. So the exploration feels fun and silly, and the movement is also just really fun and satisfying because you have a little hover pack, so you can float, and have extended jumps across the terrain, and it just it feels very fun to move around and explore, and it's just very, very silly to vacuum up a bunch of chickens and shoot them at slimes to feed them. So I started a fresh game. I haven't quite gotten as far as I did in early access, but I'm pretty close at this point. And just everything feels really polished and really just colorful and beautiful and fun to hop around. So if this sort of game might be your jam, I definitely recommend it. I'm looking forward to sort of getting to the point where I was in early access and then exploring beyond that. There wasn't a ton new compared to when I played it last. Some things are more polished. Just things are a little bit smoother. There's some decorations and things added, but looking forward to continuing to explore, and would highly recommend, especially if you are like me and in a position where you just really need a very sweet candy colored distraction for a little while.
I really enjoyed the first one. I'll have to check this one out.
So, Ammo, tell us tales of victory through math.
All right, so Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles, came out Tuesday. It is the remake of the classic Final Fantasy Tactics. It's a very lovely upgrade. It's got wonderful voice acting. It's all fully voice acted. The UI is great. Gameplay is still good. And of course, you have a large variety of different jobs that you can choose to have your characters be. So, okay, so we put in about, I'd say maybe about 6 hours so far, my husband and I, but we haven't left the first map where you can actually battle on your own and grind your characters.
Oh boy. Yep.
My husband has made it a mission to grind out the 4 units plus Ramza to unlock arithmeticians. Delete and Argath are like level 2. They've confiscated all of their equipment to use on our characters. And we're building basically a party of teleporting math monks. So if you're not familiar with arithmeticians, you're loosely kind of the math boss from the Lighthouse Evilist raid in 14.
Mm-hmm.
Any unit on the board that meets a set of requirements, like their level number, their XP number, their height on the map. Depending on those numbers, the arithmetician can attack from anywhere on the board instantly and for free. Because most spells and tactics, you have a cast time of like a few turns usually.
Yeah. Do note, this is both enemy and friendly units.
Yes.
It does
exactly.
not differentiate.
Nope.
This is important.
And even at lower levels, arithmeticians can have access to Holy and Flare.
That's hilarious.
Like yeah, this is objectively the strongest class in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So it's taken some time, but like our Ramza is like level 50. And like all 5 of our units right now have basically monk skills and arithmetician skills.
What more do you need?
Yes, exactly. And he's already become basically the bane of chocobos and goblins. Just like blowing up them and occasionally party members as he grinds all the way up to these insane levels.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's okay because, just heal them. You use monk chakra in a circle and you heal your party members back up. I mean, pretty soon we're going to be hitting, I assume soon we're going to move on with the story and we're going to get to the infamous slums map and we're just going to roll in and be like, we're here to do your books. But it's I didn't actually use arithmetician much myself when the original game was out because I guess I didn't really spend a lot of time trying to figure it out. And I just I probably had Sid by that point or something. So I was like, I'm fine. I can do this,
If you don't do multiple hours of grinding and or particular math figuring to make sure that this hits the enemies but not my party, or this hits my party but they absorb it or something, arithmetician takes so much setup to make work well.
It's true, but when it does, it's crazy. You can also give them time mage skills, so you can set it up so it hits all of your party with like haste too. In fact, he was using it to like stop enemies when they were like at the max height level on the map, so like he could constantly hit them on level 2 with like Holy and Flare and not hit the party. So yeah, if you want to put that kind of effort into it, and you're arguably kind of a crazy person, I'm not saying, okay, yeah, my husband's a little bit of a crazy person, but I was just kind of boggled at how absolutely crazy this class is, and I'm like, oh, what is the rest of this game going to be like with these characters now?
Pretty easy.
Yeah, so I would say it's definitely worth the effort. Maybe not in like the first part of the game, like after only the 3rd map. You might want to maybe spend a little more time in other maps, but yeah, it's fun times. It's pretty crazy. I assume the rest of the game is just as great so far.
I've been really pleased with how like not forcing a controller it's been for keyboard and mouse. Like you can pretty much play everything without ever picking up a controller, and it's lovely.
We're playing it on PlayStation, so I mean, but yeah, I've heard like from people who've been playing it on PC that it's been like a really smooth experience.
Yeah, you can just mouse over a tile and then select it or select a unit, and it's like it's not attempting to emulate a controller, which is I'm thankful for.
Yeah, that honestly probably makes it a little bit easier to look at enemy units too, because like we have to hit square and then like scroll across the board to look at enemies to see what their numbers are and stuff like that. But yeah, game is gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. It just, the quality of life stuff just in like the menus and stuff alone has been fabulous lately. It's I'm so excited this game is here. I'm so happy. Please play Final Fantasy Tactics. It's fantastic.
It really is.
Arithmeticians are optional, but try playing an arithmetician. Oh my god.
I mean, Tactics also has some of the best Dragoons the series has ever had.
Yes.
Tactics Advanced nerfed them quite a lot, and then Tactics A2 nerfed them even further.
That's true. I think it is Tactics where I originally like first saw like Dragoons. Well, no, that's not true because I played 7 first, but I'm like, oh my gosh, this class is so cool. Like fully, embracing the Final Fantasy Dragoon feel.
So this is going to be me talking about something that I don't know how much y'all have been following, but I kind of think Xbox may just be cooked at this point.
What I have seen does not look great.
Okay, so
That's
for
not good.
anyone who's not been following this, Microsoft has recently cranked up prices of the consoles. So the fanciest version of the Xbox Series X now sells for $800, and the latest version of the stripped down Xbox Series S sells for $450, which that used to be the quote unquote, price conscious unit that was like a couple $100. And then I don't remember what day of the week it was. They basically announced more value coming to Xbox Game Pass, but really they're cranking the price of Ultimate from $20 a month to $30 a month. And this has been a frog boiling in the pot moment for literally everyone. I thought $20 a month was a bit much to be paying, but I kept paying it just because I would use it for day one releases of things from the plethora of Microsoft Studios. But I don't know why that is a massive tipping point for me, but the difference of $20 a month to $30 a month was an instant cancel for me.
It's 2 MMOs a month.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what, that's the way my brain thinks of it is, and just like Disney had problems with their site breaking for people canceling, Microsoft had issues with their general account system for people canceling their subscriptions. And it's not just Ultimate that went up, they all went up some amount, some worse than others, depending on which region you're in. And the stuff that they added in was a bunch of old Ubisoft games and the limited EA Play stuff and something for Fortnite, which are things that a lot of people that were quote unquote Xbox gamers don't really care about in the first place. I just think Microsoft may be toast at this point. They're also apparently rolling out a free version of xCloud that allows you to play 5 hours of games per month, and you will have to sit through, I think, 10 minutes of ads. It's either 5 or 10 minutes of ads before the game starts, but also be on the lowest priority for your cloud game actually launching. So there will probably be some additional wait time there, and you can play 5 different 1-hour sessions for free, which cool, but I don't know who that's for either.
5 whole hours a month. Wow.
Yeah. Wow, cool.
And I guess it's only on the weekends or something like that. So you're not going to get through any game on that quote unquote free plan.
Oof.
So I have no idea what Microsoft is doing. I have no clue what their strategy is at this point. Because I thought it was Game Pass. I thought it was Game Pass.
I mean, we had heard some time back that Game Pass was apparently, a money loser, a big money loser. So
yeah,
for Microsoft,
they
weren't making devs were making money off of Game Pass.
Oh,
weirdly.
sure. But eventually, Microsoft was going to decide we want money, and well, I guess they decided that, and
I don't know
probably
that anyone
they won't
wants to
get
give
any.
it to them.
I always figured this was forcing people into their ecosystem. That was the point of Game Pass.
Yeah, I assumed it was meant to be a loss leader, but I don't know now. I don't know.
I mean, it makes me wonder, is Microsoft's balance sheet worse than anyone thinks it is?
Yes.
I mean, they're also, it seems like, having a really hard time convincing people to move to Windows 11.
Yeah, there's been a 10% increase in Windows 7 usage.
Oof.
Yeah, it's just it's this is not a good time for Microsoft, I guess. Also, I know I posted this and suggested that you go watch it. Did any of you watch the Microsoft Tokyo Game Show presentation?
I did not.
No.
It was the weirdest bit of pandering I have ever seen. Like, every demo was any way that they could, like, point out any vague connection back to Japan in every game they showcased. And, like, some of them were legit, because, like, Forza Horizon, which is a great game, is set in Japan this time for the upcoming game. So, like, that was cool. But, like, they would highlight edge case characters in games that just happened to be, like, a Japanese-American actor. Like, it was bizarre. And it felt very much like this is Microsoft saying, please love us, Japan. We would really like some of your market share.
Wow.
But that's a show they've been doing since at least the 360. The 360 launched with a bunch of JRPGs from Japanese developers so that they could try to enter Japan.
Yes.
It didn't work.
No.
But, they tried.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I am kind of concerned at this point that, like, we may be seeing the last vestiges of Microsoft Xbox gaming.
I mean, we still got Sega, even though we don't still have Sega console.
It may be a Nintendo and Sony game from now on. It already kind of was, but this current generation hasn't done terribly well for Xbox in general. I don't know. It's been wild to watch it all go down, and I was a day one subscriber to Gamepass when it opened up, especially with cloud gaming, because I liked being able to pop into to xCloud and play a game for a few minutes to see if I liked it before going through the process of downloading it. I mean, I do that on the PlayStation 5 now. Like, I will stream a game from the PlayStation Plus library before I actually commit to downloading it, because I can get into the game faster to check it out and see, is this even a thing that I care about? So I thought that was cool, but yeah, no, I mean, the price hike was an instant cancel for me. And I think there's a lot of people that have just had a calculation of okay, let's look at everything that's coming out from Microsoft. How many of these titles do I really care about? Is it going to be more than a handful? Because if not, I'll just buy them outright. So I think topics have gotten moved around a little bit. I did not intend to put two of my topics side by side. I have been playing with a social media site called SpaceHey, and I don't know if any of you are familiar with what the heck it is, but someone has pretty much created a beat-for-beat clone of MySpace from the original MySpace era, and it is kind of cool in its own, and it lets people, customize their profiles to the extreme degree that MySpace always allowed. But what I found was really interesting. So I signed up for an account 3 years ago, but I never messed around with it until a friend this week has started playing with it. I'm like, sure, I'll check it out again. And I was shocked at how young the user community has skewed. There are a lot of teenagers that are connected to this platform, which that in itself is somewhat concerning. And I've had to put a please do not interact if you're a minor in my profile. But it does kind of give me hope for this generation growing up, because they seem to be wanting something other than traditional social media. So good for them.
That's good.
Also talking about their physical media collections.
Well, yeah, you can't get unlisted from Spotify if you have the CD.
Yeah.
It's surreal. It's okay. I mean, have fun, kids. Enjoy the internet I grew up with.
I don't necessarily like
Uncle
reasons
Bill,
that are causing it, but yeah, this resurgence of physical media, sure.
Weird Uncle Bell appreciates your your trip down his memory lane. So
wow, this looks like LiveJournal. Damn.
Yeah, it really does.
Well, no wonder the kids like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's got that's why I said early MySpace, because MySpace itself had a very live journal feel to it originally before it went off in other directions. And this is like really, 1.0 MySpace. Like, people have embedded audio players in their profiles playing their favorite songs.
I don't miss those, actually.
Ooh. No, but good. Like, good. We can teach people...
The GeoCities internet.
Yeah, the GeoCities internet was great for developing taste at some level. Because you went through all of the iterations of not having any taste.
Yeah.
I linked my profile in chat. I am fond of this, Fallout-esque Pip-Boy CRT theme that I found on some profile that I pasted into mine.
Wild.
Yeah, it's been so weird. Like, I both feel deeply nostalgic and also as old as the stars.
Mm-hmm.
Rise of Ronin.
So, Rise of the Ronin is a ninja... Shoot, what is the name of their company? Team Ninja.
Okay.
It's Team Ninja doing like a really story-heavy action RPG. And it's interesting because there's a whole lot of this sort of thing like suddenly happening. And by suddenly I mean the last, 5 years or so. But like, it's interesting to see because like Team Ninja has the heck of a pedigree. Like, they have made some very good games.
Yes. Over a long period of time. It's not just been one era.
Yeah, like, they have made some very good games in a very short period of time. Or over a very long period of time. But their gaps between their, like, big hits is pretty short.
Mm-hmm.
This one is definitely doing... It's like trying to be this historical fiction kind of deal. And it just doesn't land for me. Like, mixed reviews on Steam. And it's got just a bunch of... It doesn't have the thing that I sometimes think of with Tecmo games where, boy, do you have to fight the UI to play the game. It doesn't do that. Team Ninja is actually really good at not doing that, but it feels like it's aping Ubisoft, like the Ubisoft open world style, but without quite the same like craft to it. It feels old. Like, I was surprised because I'd been paying attention to it, and it came out this year, but it feels like it came out a decade ago.
It wasn't Team Ninja, it was Omega Force. But with Dynasty Warriors 9, they also sort of pursued the Ubisoft open world sort of thing, and it just didn't work.
Yeah. And it's like, it's got a bunch of different weapons. It's got this very, like, fighting style heavy, the kinds of things you expect. It's got, block, parry, light and heavy attack, different weapons with different maneuvers, special attacks with tools. Like, I don't say any of this to say like, oh, they're not creative. It's just like, this is de rigueur for the genre. It's what I expect to see.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we're going to talk about it in a little bit because it's, hint, it's an upcoming topic, but the Ghost of games like are very much doing open world, but like they're doing interesting things with open world that aren't just like checking boxes. Yeah.
And I think that's where I was sort of landing with this, is it feels like it's checking boxes. I've played a few other like historical-ish Japan, historical fiction in Japan samurai inspired games. And I'm always sort of looking for like, there's more and more of them. It used to be a pretty rare genre, but there's a lot of them now. And I'm kind of looking for like, what are they doing that's interesting? And this one, the thing that this one is doing that's interesting is they're setting it in it looks like they're kind of doing the Red Dead Redemption thing where, you think of like, oh, Westerns, and you think of a certain time period, and Red Dead Redemption, the first one, sets it at like the very end of that time period where the whole thing is like the whole cowboy way of life is dying. This is the dying gas. And it's interesting as a result. and this is setting things in like the very first boss you fight is an American, like a legitimate, I forget which historical figure it is, Matthew Perry.
Mhm.
Like, but that's the thing is you're fighting Matthew Perry because there's like this is samurai, but it's late, I don't think it's late Edo. No,
I know the historical figure that you're talking about, but all I can picture is them fighting Chandler.
Chandler Bing. Yeah.
Chandler Bing.
Yeah, it's 1863 is the year they set the game in, which is like really late for a samurai game. It is like hundreds of years later than you would expect. But I just didn't get like, other than that, I didn't feel like there was much interesting that they were doing with it. I wanted something a little bit more with a little bit more soul, compared to playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, which I really enjoyed and has a very particular like, this is a samurai movie about this is like classic samurai film revenge story that it's structured like. I didn't get the same kind of thing from this.
Now we slide into open world done really well with the latest Ghost of game.
Oh man, Erika Samurai Showdown is great. Like, it's interesting because the setup for Ghost of Yotei is the exact same as the setup for AC Shadows. And like, this isn't even a spoiler. It's the first 30 seconds of the intro cutscene. Both games are like, hey, here's a bunch of characters who have done you wrong. You're going to do something about it in a largely edged manner. But the original Ghost of Tsushima, which I liked, it was really, really good. It had a kind of hard to follow story because it was kind of playing with this, honorable samurai combat, but also what about, it's like, you want to be an honorable samurai, but like actually when you're a lone warrior against an army, like being an honorable samurai doesn't actually help you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like not actually an effective way to succeed. It's a good way to just die immediately. And so it's like, how much are you gonna sacrifice your morals to be sneaky? And it's a little hard to ride that line in a way that feels compelling, unless you're just like really immersed in that kind of ethos.
Yeah.
Whereas it's not even Ghost of Yotei thus far dispenses with that entirely, and I actually think it's better for it. Like, you know what you're about, you know what's up, you're gonna do the thing.
Well, and like honestly, the best parts of Ghost of Tsushima were anytime you were dealing with common folk and less so your other samurai lords and nobility.
Yeah. And I think that it hugely benefits from like realizing that was the case, because that's basically everybody you interact with, at least as far as I've gotten. And like that, it's really cool. Like, there's a ton of character. It does the same. It's got the same like Kurosawa filmmaking aesthetic to it, but it's also leaning really hard in a different direction. I think it's an incredibly good choice that they didn't return to the same place and the same character for the sequel, because it means they're doing different things. And like one of the neat things that it does early is you're playing a character that's got trauma. Like, obviously you wouldn't be out on a revenge murder scheme if you didn't have some trauma.
Yeah.
And that they use this really, really, really well. That one of the first bosses you face is again, super early in the game, you face a boss that's like one of the people who wronged you, and in part of there's a portion of the fight where he's like taunting you, and to show that he's getting under your skin, there's this like scene where he throws sand in your face, and like as it's clearing, you're a young kid version of yourself fighting him. And it's like, oh wow, you have really really communicate. And it's partly you're a little kid version of yourself, but you fight him when he's like stumbling drunk, but he's not in this little portion of the fight, and it's just such an effective way. Like the cinematography of it is brilliant, and it sells this like, oh, this person's making you feel small despite everything, just moments super well. And you can go to various places and flash back to like what it was like when you were a kid because you're returning to your hometown after 16 years. And that kind of thing just wouldn't make sense in the context of the original Ghost of Tsushima, but here it really works. Plus it means you don't have to have played the original to jump straight into this one if you so desire, and I think that that's reflected in the title, which works. Also, Erika Ishii is great. Like, the delivery on the character is fantastic. She's very cool, and I want to play more of this character because I know they can do character arcs, and the places that they could go with this character seem really cool.
I mean, I think it's interesting that the Ghost of series is probably going to be a bunch of individual, like an anthology of stories, rather than just like one story, kind of like Infamous was.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a really good choice, and yeah, I hope they continue with that.
Yeah, I agree. But it also means that they can, for each one, they can completely change the characters and a bunch of the mechanics and switch up their mini games if they're not working. It uses the only other game that I have seen that uses the like inbuilt functionality of the PS5 controller as well as this game does is Astrobot, which is a very high bar.
You know, I was playing Sackboy's Adventures this week a little bit because reasons. And it also uses the controller in a lot of interesting ways, specifically tilt. And I did not remember that being the case.
Yeah, the one that I really like. Not enough games do this, in my opinion. There's a lot of really great depth you can get to with just haptic feedback stuff. Like most games are just like, we rumble the controller when something's happening. But this, they managed to accomplish the feeling. There's a sequence early where you're writing and you're using the touchpad to like draw characters, and the feedback on it is great. You get a little bit of the sound of crinkling paper coming from the controller itself. It's very subtle, but works super well. And isn't my freaking cell phone ringing like it was in Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah.
Honestly, I do kind of actually appreciate when games use the controller for kind of personal touches like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's so easy to make it annoying, but when it's
No, it has to be used sparingly.
Yeah. But when it's used sparingly and like to good effect, it's really cool.
Like Infamous Second Son using the controller as a kind of spray can was kind of got tiring very quickly.
Yes.
I don't know how much I have to say about this, and I threw it on the list, I don't know, a couple weeks back, but I have popped back into New World lately. I did not really return to the game when they had their Eternum release, where they basically like targeted consoles. That was the big thing. And a lot of the player base felt real frustrated about that because they treated it like it was this big expansion, when in reality it was just the game, but targeting consoles. However, I am realizing it was a bigger deal than I thought at the time, because every single quest in the game is now voice acted when it wasn't when we played it last time. Like some of them were, but very few of them were. But like all the little weird side quests in the different zones are now fully voice acted. And they've like, I created a brand new character mostly just to get my bearings underneath me before popping over to one of my maxed out characters. And they now have like a whole different intro to the game. And some guidance as picking kind of templates that are like, here's some weapons that go well together, and your bonus for doing so is that you basically get like some free points in a specific trade skill if you pick that templated class. And obviously you can change it instantly, and it doesn't impact like the maximum of a class, but it feels like maybe there's some better guidance there as to like these are strength weapons, these go well together, or these are constitution weapons or whatever. Additionally, like it seems like everything in the game has just like they got rid of the weird dungeon key system where you had to craft dungeon keys, and I guess technically there's still like 3 bosses that are that way, but it's the exception rather than the rule, and now you just queue up for a dungeon kind of like you queue up for anything else in any other MMO. And it seems to be thriving. Like you can tell what platform somebody's playing on, and it seems to be way more popular amongst consoles than it is currently with PC. But it was interesting going back. Am I going to stick around and play for long? Probably not. Like I had a brief honeymoon period where I remembered how fun it was to run around the world to harvest things. And then I remembered just how grindy end game crafting is. And I don't really want to grind it out. But they've gone through and reworked a bunch of the zones. And I guess, coming up, there's a truly new zone instead of them just reworking a previous zone. That is a zone that has, in theory, been on the map since the beginning, but was never populated, and now it's like vampires and werewolves, and I think they call it Night Haven, where it's like a spoopy Transylvania kind of zone.
Halloween Town.
Halloween Town, yeah. This is Halloween Town. So at some point I may pop in and see what that's like. But yeah, like if it is a thing that you enjoyed in the past, you might pop back in and see if it does it for you now. Like voice acted characters weren't really enough of a thing for me. Especially given that like the storyline is mostly been rewritten several times in various iterations of the game since release. I guess I'm happy to see that it still exists and is still keeping afloat. So good on them.
It doesn't take that much population to sustain an MMO.
Right. That's the end of our topics on the list. Anybody have any topics that they want to discuss?
Digimon.
I'll go for it.
Digimon Tori's Time Stranger came out this past Friday. It is fun so far, but also I am still very early, so I can't say that much about it.
Strongly avoiding spoilers, but I have hit credits in Hades 2. I am still playing because I want to see what happens after credits in Hades 2. And the story, the things that they do with the story are good enough that it is bumping itself to the top of my Game of the Year list.
I think I'm close to credits, I think. And I'm very curious what post-credits looks like.
Right?
Given what the plan is and what we are trying to do, I'm very curious where this is going to lead.
I had one exceptionally good run, and I made it all the way up to Kronos and just got my ass handed to me. And I've not been back in since. Freeze powers are real powerful, yo.
Yes.
And like, I don't remember who said this, but the game does seem better at doubling down on things it's already given you before.
It's also so much better at synergies.
Yes.
Like, I think that was definitely a thing in the first one where mostly gods were, like, the set of boons that gods gave you were specific to each other. Whereas,
yeah, they were each doing their own thing, and there weren't a lot of opportunities to make multiple gods boons work off of each other.
Yeah, unless you got the ultra rare duos.
Yeah.
I loved the Scylla fight so much.
It's so good. It's better the second time and the third time. So good. I've started doing Oath of the Unseen. Right now I'm just, I have a time limit on, which doesn't really change anything because 36 minutes to do a run is way more time than you need.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. One way or another, my runs are over before then.
This is how I felt about the first time limit in Hades as well.
Oh, yeah.
First time limit Super easy.
That is absolutely the first thing you should turn on, because if that does cause you problems, then you really don't want to be doing any of the other ones anyway.
Yeah. The two choices of path you have. There's one that I just turn all the way on if I'm amping up the difficulty, because I frankly don't care if I get enemies from later areas.
Yeah.
The other one, I feel very strongly that I don't want enemies from later areas. That was a mistake. Also, I have unlocked more weapons, and boy, howdy, did they get creative with these.
Yeah, I'm having fun trying out the aspects, and there are definitely some weapons where one of the aspects is just going to be my default from now on.
Yeah. Well, and there's other ones where I'm like, what is this aspect even doing?
That too, yeah.
How do you play this? And I found one that turns the game into Vampire Survivors. Deeply weird, surprisingly fun and effective, but really weird.
I don't know if it's actually the weapon I'm best with, but I dearly love the black coat. The black coat is nonsense.
It's so silly. I love it.
You only thought the adamant rail was silly. No. That said, I'm pretty sure I'm best with the axe.
Oh, that axe is real good. There is at least this is another thing that I didn't have in the original. There is at least one aspect for every weapon that I feel confident that I can win a run with.
Yes.
Like, without getting lucky. I can just go in and win a run with this aspect on this weapon.
Yeah, I've had no difficulty with the, beat the bosses with all the different weapons prophecy.
There are 3 endgame keepsakes, which I'm, again, not going to spoil, but they do have the baseline requirement of you cannot have used any god keepsake, and you can't have any reroll dice. Otherwise, they do nothing. And I'm trying to decide if I think that's worth. They're really good, though. Yeah, that game is really fun. Continues to be really fun. I also the other game that I only put like 10 minutes into it this week, but Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii is every bit as weird as its title would indicate to you.
I mean, it's Majima in Hawaii being a pirate.
Completely uninterested in explaining itself to you, and I kind of respect it for that. You are you're on a ride.
Like you know what you're letting yourself into when you bought this game. Like we don't need to explain this.
The like, you know how your Steam library has like a little banner for all of your games? The banner art for this game is striking enough that my partner was like, "What is that game?" And so I showed them a trailer.
Does that answer any questions?
No, it did not. None.
No.
0 questions. But it did lead us down a rabbit hole of if I could have like one video game, like one dramatic but not combat useful video game power, it would be the ability to, in a single fluid motion, tear off a blazer and button down in just one swift, unbroken move. I found a supercut of it.
Oh my gosh. I mean, if this is like every Yakuza game, that's going to be a really long supercut.
It's like 20 minutes long. It's amazing.
Anybody have anything else?
Did we talk about EA?
No.
What happened this week?
It was a nice run, I guess.
Yes.
And like Microsoft crashing out, I mean, here goes EA.
Yeah,
I don't know that there's any recovering from this. I believe EA is going to be dismantled for parts to extract the maximum amount of wealth from it, and then just left dead. And it was strapped with billions of dollars worth of debt.
20 billion, I believe. Yeah,
But AI efficiencies.
Yeah, somehow that'll solve it all. I guess.
I'm just glad I'm not the person who now has the job of hey, you need to figure out how we're going to double our operating profit within a year.
I the
Just
the
to
big
service the interest.
the big bet has been, is the next Mass Effect game even going to come out at this point?
No.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Was that? I didn't realize that was still a
That's
question.
that's an easy answer.
Yeah, no way in hell.
I mean,
Not a
maybe,
chance.
maybe a few years down the road, some IPs will be available at fire sale prices. But for now,
The bleaker question that I have is, does The Sims have to pull all of its LGBTQ content?
Supposedly
Intensity
they're in the
existing.
process of that. Yeah.
oh man,
Then no one will ever buy those games again.
yeah, like
I mean, it's kind of your player base.
that's their target demographic.
Well,
Have I mentioned recently that capitalism was a mistake? Capitalism was a mistake.
I don't even think this one. I don't even think that this is a like as much as it looks like it. I don't actually think that this is a like vulture capitalism looting scenario.
I mean, there's that too. I don't know what this is.
I think it's really, really expensive image laundering.
Unsuccessful image
Not,
laundering.
yeah, it's not doesn't seem to be successful.
I think someone just
What?
wanted to play with their sports games.
What
I mean,
you mean the weird ass golf tournament isn't enough image laundering?
Lord.
And
Maybe
cool-
that's it. Maybe they bought it to have a video game company to make live golf games.
and that cool comedy festival they just had. You know?
Oh God.
Everybody loved that, right?
Hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, like my one hope is maybe they just like quadruple down on the sports games and sell off everything else. I don't know.
But the question is, will there even be anyone to buy the IPs that are worth saving?
I mean, there's that too. Maybe Richard Garriott wants to buy some stuff.
See, I don't know what's going on at PlayStation, but they sure are putting out surprisingly good games lately.
So as someone who's been crawling through the PlayStation Store today, there's also a prodigious amount of slop games on the PlayStation Store.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think
also
that's
true.
every store now.
Mostly talking about like their actual output
Right.
of the studios they bought.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, other than Bungie. Like,
Well, also yes.
Didn't Bungie buy themselves back?
No.
No,
They bought themselves
so-
back from Microsoft.
Oh, right.
and
They
then
got bought by
Sony bought
Sony.
them.
Yeah.
And now Sony is taking them over because they no longer have a CEO. They have a studio head.
Like, boy, I was trying to just looking up like what did PlayStation Studios release in 2025?
Concord?
I mean,
I guess that was
yeah,
last year.
Yeah, Concord was last year, I thought. But like Death Stranding 2, which people seem to like, Ghost of Yotei, which is incredible.
I wish they would throw me a bone and do PC releases simultaneously because most of these games I want to play on PC instead of on PS5.
They have had the terrible launch dates of Horizon games going on, right?
Yes.
There's supposedly like a Horizon live service game incoming soon.
Insomniac and Naughty Dog are still working on new stuff.
Naughty Dog hasn't done anything in a while.
It's true.
No, they're working on that intergalactic or whatever it is.
Yeah. I don't know what that is, but Insomniac's working on Wolverine.
Okay.
Which we got another trailer for, so it's still alive and kicking.
It is weird to me that they've become the superhero game studio.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, hey.
I
know
mean,
what
they
they're
did a
about.
good job, so
They did a very good job.
I mean, Sucker Punch is no longer the superhero game studio, so somebody had to step in. Do they still own Media Molecule?
Technically, yeah.
What is Media Molecule doing?
Who even knows?
Hiring. Huh. They're still doing stuff. Weird.
Dreams was the last thing they released in 2020.
I mean, I thought Sackboy's Adventure was after that.
I don't think that was Media Molecule.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Sumo Digital.
It's them or it's, for people picking up the lost things off of EA, it's probably PlayStation Studios or Ubisoft?
I mean, that's basically who's left now. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they can make a good BioWare game happen, I would, appreciate it.
Hey, Paradox, pick him up.
Yeah, I guess that's not impossible. I mean, jury's out on whether Paradox is able to publish more variety.
I mean, Nacon seems to have a lot of money for some reason.
I couldn't tell you why.
Exactly. I don't know why, but I mean...
Oh, we get to find out in 17 days if Paradox knows how to publish a non-grand strategy game.
Oh yeah,
They published other grand strategy games.
I mean, they have, but
not recently. No.
Yeah.
What's coming out in
Bloodlines 2?
Bloodlines 2.
Oh, right.
And apparently, I was not the only person nonplussed by their decision to make Toreador a DLC clan.
No, they were.
It is no longer a DLC clan.
They walked that back.
They got some feedback there.
They walked that back real quick.
Yeah, they said, no, actually, Toreador and La Sombra, their main game now. We're going to give you some other DLC. Please stop being mad at us.
I mean, like, on the one hand, if I'm Paradox Interactive and I have a very, very well-established model for how you do that sort of thing, then I can understand if you don't understand any other genres, being like, oh yeah, you just apply the same model.
Yeah.
But that's where I land at, do they know how to publish anything that's not a grand strategy game?
They didn't do a great job with Tyranny.
Yeah. Like
Tyranny was great, but it was not well served by its publisher.
Right. That's why I say, like, because they're not making the game.
No.
Well, that's a whole different thing.
I'm just shocked and amazed that it actually is coming out.
Yeah, I lose a bet on that one.
I didn't put any money down, but I also would have lost that bet.
Yeah, like
same.
Yeah, I assumed it was just totally dead at this point.
Oh yeah. No, I wrote that off 10 years ago. Like Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is a 2004 action role-playing game made by Troika. Like, okay. No, I would not have for a second believed that there was going to be a sequel.
I mean, we saw it at PAX pre-pandemic.
Yeah, which is amazing to me. Like, it stuns me that it continues to exist. Like, I don't have high hopes. I think we're looking at a little bit more Duke Nukem Forever than Silk Song. It might actually, I'm assuming it's going to release. It has a release date. It's showing up on Steam, etc. I think that does actually. Does that make it the longest development sequel?
Well, it wasn't in development the whole time, though.
Was Duke Nukem Forever? I don't know, maybe.
I mean, I'm relatively certain that Duke Nukem Forever isn't even the longest game that's been in development. Like, I think other things have passed it. Not even counting Half-Life nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, Duke Nukem Forever was only in development for 15 years.
Like, Silk Song was, 9? Owlboy was 8. No, Silk Song couldn't have been 9. How long just came out in...
And I mean, I assume we're limiting this to games that have successfully launched after being in development for...
At this point, yes.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's the thing is Beyond Good and Evil 2 is, about the same time period.
It's like 20 years.
Yeah, this will be 21 years. Now, I think the record is held by a GBA game.
Bloodlines 2 was announced when Paradox bought White Wolf in 2015. They announced the intention to make this game.
Yeah, but it was a thing people were talking about before even that.
Sure, but it's only been in development for 10 years.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is still a long time, to be clear.
Kien on the GBA is the most delayed video game in history thus far. Releasing for the GBA in 2024.
Wow. That's impressive.
Which, yeah, we'll see. If it's really good, I don't know what I'm gonna think. It's a wild. Like I have a hard time even believing it could possibly be good, but I'd love to be wrong.
Oh yeah, like my expectations are not high, but I'd love to be surprised.
Yep, same.
The original was incredible. like flawed. It was a
Yeah,
Troika game,
it's-
but
yeah.
but incredible.
Beyond Good and Evil 2 passed Duke Nukem Forever in 2022, if you're curious about that one.
Aha.
But it also has not actually come out.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen anything other than that original trailer for it, have we?
I don't think
Nope.
we've seen anything since then now.
It's like 2 cinematics designers.
But there's also a game called Clockwork Aquario that actually came out in 2011 that began production in 1996.
Oof.
That's probably a show.
Yeah.
Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. And we will see you again next time. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
See you.